10 on this Thursday. Good morning, and good morning to our in-studio guest, Chris. He is the founder, owner, CEO of August Roofing. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Tori. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, but we need to answer that question because Kyle and I just spoke about one of the best guitarists ever in life. I mean, come on. Do you yes or no on Eddie?
Yes, I'm yes on Eddie.
Yes on Eddie, because Andrew Delgado standing next to me here, kind of like, what's your deal? Best guitarist?
Go Prince.
Oh, you're a Prince? Okay, Prince is, listen, but I'm an Eddie fan. Chris is here because we're going to talk about solar in addition to guitarist.
Yeah.
Didn't think you were going to go there today, did you?
No, I did not. Did not prepare with that.
We're going to talk about roofing and solar. Solar being so incredibly popular in the last 10 years, just huge, just breakout. And is that why because you've been in roofing for like 30 years or something, right?
That's correct, yeah. In the business, 30 years, myself, 37 years. So.
Wow. That's a lot of experience.
Yes.
That's a lot of experience. There is probably not any situation you have not ever come across.
Yeah, I don't think so. It's pretty rare whenever I see something new.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen it. You probably have literally seen it all. Okay, so let's start with just a couple of questions on solar. So you've been doing roofing for 37 years, but solar has just kind of kicked up and had this momentum maybe last 10.
That's correct.
When did you decide to jump on board?
Yeah, we jumped in 2015, and really what happened was we just saw a serious uptick in leaks that were related to the solar. There was some clients we'd even put roofs on in the past that were now calling me and say, hey, I've got leaks now. We went to the property and they had solar put on and it was not done. The attachment from to the roof was not done correctly. And so it must have been a rainy year, similar to this year, and the phone was just ringing off the hook. In the past, I had a subcontractor that, I had a solar a friend of mine that would come in and do the removal, and then I would do the roof. But it just got to such a big amount that I decided I guess I should be in this. And so I could just take care of that. And then that just kind of parlayed into customers going, hey, what about new systems? Could you start installing those for me? So it just was natural for us.
It was a natural fit. And now you can do both of those things. When you started with the repair, did it just shock you that this was happening out there at such a large number? These solar panels being put on the older roofs, and then the connections not happening. Did it surprise you or shock you, or how'd you feel about that?
Yes and no. Unfortunately, the construction industry is not the most professional. So at some level, I was like, yeah, how could they even be doing this? But at the other level, I've been in the business 37 years, so I've seen a lot of bad work. So, and then the industry just took off like a shotgun, 10 years ago. And so everybody, business was easy, and anybody that could call themselves a solar contractor was jumped on board. And so that just leaves everything really rife for a lot of poor work.
Well, see, that's what I want to talk to you about today. The poor workmanship, because a lot of the solar companies that started 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, even 3 years ago before the pandemic, the height of the pandemic, I should say, nowhere to be found.
That's correct.
Out of business, no longer. So if you have an issue, if you have a problem, it's kind of too bad, and then they have to contact yet another contractor or roofing company to come in and fix it. Have you seen that problem?
Yes, quite a bit, especially when we started back in 15. There was a lot of the early contractors, solar contractors, that are gone, nowhere to be found. And I feel really bad for the customers because, I don't like it. I don't like paying for something twice, especially if I felt that I put out good money and I had bought something that should last and should be,
Sure.
I relied on their expertise to take care of me because I'm not the expert in certain areas. So, that's what we really do at August Roofing and Solar is, we educate our clients, and we believe that it's our responsibility to be experts and take care of the client and do a good job. And that just wasn't happening with the solar contractors, the initial batch for sure. And you'll find it across any contractor these days also.
Well, it's tough. And I will be honest with you, Chris. We're talking to Chris from August Roofing. I'll be honest with you. Money sometimes, if these contractors come in, and in my house we have a rule. If we're having any work done, any work, minor work, major work, whatever it is, we get 3 bids. We get 3 bids, and we sit down and we ask questions. We see if the vibe is right. We see, and inevitably, one bid is like way lower than the other 2.
That's correct.
All the time.
Yep.
They, some company will come in, and it's very tempting because you go, they can do it for this, this amount. What's happening? What are these 2 companies ripping us off? So how do you feel about that? Because that's got to play into your business. You have 37 years of experience, but if that third company comes in and they say, no, please, I can do it for half the price. Speak to that for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big problem in our industry. We've got a lot of companies that aren't very professional. And so, what we strive for at August Roofing and Solar is to create a professional atmosphere and take care of people. And that's not only the customers, but that's our employees too. There's not a lot of construction companies that have paid time off for our guys, but or health insurance for down to the roofers. And not a lot of companies have that, but we do it to protect the customer because we now have long-term employees which do better work and are more conscientious, and we can train and they stick with us. And so it's an investment that you have to make in people, but it ultimately pays off for the consumer that gets a better product, and for the organization as it's a more peaceful and place to work.
Now that just opened up a new door. I wasn't even going to go down that pathway, but let's talk about it for just a couple of seconds. We have a couple more minutes left. So if you treat your employees well, you offer them benefits, you offer them some time off, some sick leave, whatever it is, they're likely to stick around, learn from you, someone who has 37 years experience, then they pass it on to the consumer, and everybody is happy.
Yes, everybody wins
again. It literally starts with you.
Yeah, and it's all about people. That's my personal mission statement, is to help people. And that's everything in the world is people, right? All business is interactions between people, customers and employees. And if we take good care of our employees, they're going to take good care of our customers, and everybody wins. And
I'm going to ask you this, your employees, because you're the big boss, you're the founder, CEO, owner, you got all those titles. Your employees, you must really enjoy them as people, and backward, it must be reciprocal.
Yes, I have employees that started with me 31 years ago. I have employees that have been with us for 20 years and 20, all kinds of
20 years though, and they're the newbies.
Yeah,
and they're the newbies, right?
Yeah.
Chris, the phone is good. We're getting, believe it or not, there's another storm.
Yeah.
Every time I talk to you, the words "another storm is coming up," the phone must be ringing off the hook, because leaks are being found right and left, probably, yes. Right? Yep. So what is the best way to get in touch with you if you are interested in solar panels, if you are interested in a new roof, roofing services of any kind? What is the best? You want everybody to go to augustroofing.com? Is that the best way?
They can go there. That's really easy. There's a form to fill out to get a request an estimate, or you can call 805-498-8350. That's 805-498-8350. That's if you want to call in.
If you want to call in. Or just if you're driving around, you couldn't write that down, augustroofing.com. It's that easy. August like the month.
Yep.
Augustroofing.com. Chris, the owner, founder, CEO of August Roofing, thank you so much. Always a pleasure talking to you. I learn something every single time you're here. Have a great rest of your week.
You too.